YouTube, what is going on? Brandon here. Today we're going to be replacing the spark plugs on my 2012 Nissan Altima. I'm going to show you some of the tools you'll need, and I'll show you how to actually remove your old spark plugs and replace them with some new spark plugs. There'll be a lot of information in the description below, so go ahead and check that out. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. For your convenience, there's going to be a list in the description below of each tool along with the spark plugs as well, so that it's easy to find and you can get whatever tool that you currently do not have in the description below. So I made it easy for you to go ahead and do that. So you are now going to be using your 5mm hex Allen bit, and you're going to be taking off 3 bolts, and you're going to be removing the engine cover here. One thing I'm going to stress here throughout the video is that you take it easy on all these bolts, because when you're working on the engine, it's not like working on anything else. You do need to be a little bit more gentle and take things a lot slower. And really what you're doing is loosening with your ratchet until you can loosen it with your hand, basically with everything on the engine, starting with the engine cover. One here, another one there, and your third one right over here. So a total of 3. You're going to go ahead and take out your engine cover right off. And now you're going to be using your 10mm socket with your extender you're going to be unscrewing your ignition coils. So again, until you can loosen it with your hand, you're using your ratchet just to break it basically and unloosen it a little bit, and you're going to repeat this process with all 4 of them. Okay, now what I'm doing here is removing the ignition coil with the towel because it's a little bit hot. Okay, so now you're using your 12.14mm deep socket. This is what you're going to use to remove your spark plug and reinstall the new ones. So what I'm doing here is you're breaking it, you're loosening it to the point where you can loosen it with your hand again. So you see there, being very gentle, be very patient when you're doing this. When you're working on the engine, this is considered engine work. You do not want to rush. You don't want to do anything quick. You want to just take your time, do it slowly, and then the rest of the way I'm going to use my hand to loosen it up. Alright, so it came right out there, and you can tell that this spark plug needed to be replaced. You can see that it's discolored and it's worn out. So that's that. Okay, and you're going to repeat the same process of removing the spark plugs with each one. I sped it up here, but you can tell that I did go slow on each one. Now these are the spark plugs that I used. Again, there's going to be a link in the description below, but these are the Autolite Iridium XP. These are going to last you a decent amount of time, and I highly recommend them. Now again, any tools that you don't have in your toolbox, or of course these spark plugs, buy it all together through those links that I'm providing, and just wait for them to come in the mail. You'll save yourself some money, and a lot of times it's going to be less expensive. So you can see the comparison here with the new spark plug compared to the old one, and you can tell that there's a big difference. Now this is going to eliminate the rough idling problem that you're having with your vehicle, and it just overall drives a lot smoother when you have new spark plugs. What I'm doing here now is you're going to want to put some anti-seize gel on your spark plugs around the threading. God forbid you have to go back in here and change them and it just won't come out. That is a very, very likely to happen if you don't use anti-seize. So you have to use anti-seize with this. I'm not even going to recommend it or not recommend. You have to. Okay, so now I'm going to be putting the spark plug right back in here. I'm going to be placing it on my extender here, and you'll notice I do use the ratchet here for a second, but it comes right back off because you do want to just hand tighten it until you can't tighten it anymore by hand. And you'll see there that I'm tightening as much as possible by hand, slowly. Again, take your time. There's no rush. The last thing you want to do is mess this up. So you're doing it very slowly. Okay, now you get your ratchet involved and you are tightening 1, 2, in about 3/4 turns you're done. Pull that right out. It doesn't really need any more than that. And you'll repeat the same process with all 4 cylinders. Okay, so now you are replacing your ignition coils. And again, I saved you a step there. You don't have to remove all of that. That's up to you though if you want to. You've got the sensor there that you can pull off of the ignition coil and take it right off. Again, you're going to repeat the same process. So that's really all there is to it. You replace your engine cover. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. I hope that this information was helpful and that you're able to do this and save some money. Thank you for watching, and until next time.